This video is going to show you is how to put together a Visera wall bed. The first and foremost, you need to make sure that you find a place in your area that you're going to install it that has at least 3 studs. I've gone ahead and marked our wall. I used a stud finder and I have located 3 studs. And this is the area that I'll be fastening the top bar of the wall. 9 unique pieces. And I'm going to start off from the very bottom. This board here is called the bottom board. It goes on the bottom of the bed assembly. The next bed, which is the same length, a little bit narrower, is called the headboard. There are 2 large pieces. One is called, both of them are called verticals. One's a left and one's a right. When you assemble the bed, orient them in this fashion, where you'll see the mechanism arm is towards the front on the left and also towards the front on the right. The next piece is called the modesty panel. This piece of wood covers the steel strut, and the steel strut is what mounts to the wall and holds the bed tight. This large piece here is called the header. It goes on top of the wall bed cabinet assembly. The last 2 items are the bed leg, which fastens to the face. The feet, and there are 4 of them, and screw them into the bottom of the verticals. Screw them in all the way at first, and then once you get the bed onto the wall, if you need to, you can adjust the height with those. There are 4, 2 on each vertical, left and then right. The bed will come with a large variety of hardware, primarily consisting of three key pieces. The first is this little lock. Second is a wooden dowel pin. And the third is a steel pin. You see a large hole, roughly 1/2 inch in diameter. It gets a fitting that looks like this. You slide that in, and normally there'll be a hole on the end of the board, and you'll want to face, you'll see there's a small arrow on the top of that piece. You'll want to face that towards the hole. Yeah, I'm just gonna, if you want to go down and slide that over, I'll snug the top up. We'll leave this one somewhat loose so we can get the footer in. Okay. Footer board.
You want to have these?
Yeah, I want to have that. Yeah.
So you can't see them.
Yep. You want to take your strut, mount it to the inside. You see the strut, this is actually a very important component. It goes into the back of the enclosure. You want to put 3 screws in on this side. Screws in along the top of the header. Generally I put them right below the stud point, the stud here, here, and then again 3 screws on that side. Another thing you'll notice along top with the strut mounts, you'll see you'll want to leave out, there's 2 holes here that can take a stud like this. That's where the modesty panel that covers the strut goes. You want to leave those out as you slide the modesty panel in place.
Okay, screws.
Set the bed up and then set it along the wall in the area that you've already pre-marked. Once the bed's in the position along the wall where you want it, in an area where you can see it, you've marked where your stud location is, so you can make sure that when you attach your strut, you do catch a stud. You do want to make sure that the cabin is level. You want to measure it. You want to just take any ordinary level and measure the side vertical, because you can move it to the left and to the right if you need. Once you find it in the position you like, you can go ahead and screw it on. And the bed requires a minimum of 3 screws, and you can see here I've got three stud locations marked, and those stud locations need to correspond with where the screw goes into the strut. Once the stud's mounted in position, you can slide up the modesty panel. It's a small piece that covers the strut. Just slide it into position over the studs. And then again, you'll lock that into place. Once the enclosure is fully assembled, you can move to the face assembly. The face assembly comes fully assembled. The only exception is you have to add the leg. The leg slides on, and you'll see that there is a hole in the side of the bed assembly, and you'll just slide your bolt through there, and you'll want to make note to make sure that you put your washer in between the bed and the leg. Once the leg's assembled, you can just roll it out of the way just by rotating it inside the bed this way. Once the leg is assembled onto the bed face, we're going to slide the face assembly into the bed enclosure. And you'll note on each mechanism there's a brass bushing. There's one on the right side and there's one on the left side. To ease the assembly process, what you'll want to make sure you do is along the side of the face assembly, you'll see that there's a rail there. You'll want to guide this rail over the top of that brass assembly and then slide the bed forward into position. Alright, the last step in assembling the wall bed is sliding the face assembly into the bed enclosure. And as I mentioned earlier, the critical part of that is making sure that the side rails of the bracket sit on the brass bushings. And then once you have it on top of the bushings, you just simply grab the end of the bed. You ride down to the bushings until it catches. Push it all the way up. Now at this point, you have to push the bed past the closed position, and you'll hear the bed snap into place on both sides. And now the bed's locked into place. Let go. And you'll notice, until you put the mattress in, the bed will come down. The mattress is used as a counterweight to hold the bed in position in a fully closed position. So if you see your bed like this after you get it assembled, this is a normal position without a mattress. All right, once the bed face assembly is in the enclosure, you have to install a screw on the side. Okay, you'll see I just finished tightening in that bolt on the side, and you'll know you're completely tight when this side rail here is touching the inside there. That'll eliminate any snapping that you might have heard earlier. And then to repeat that process on the other side. The bed comes with 2 rubber stops. This prevents the bed from traveling back into the enclosure. And the location of this rubber stop is from the edge of the piece of rubber to the outside of the bed. You'll want 1 inch. And then you repeat the same process on the other side. And that location is approximately 12 inches from the top. Once the bed's fully assembled, as I mentioned earlier, the neutral position is like this, and the bed will not stay up unless you have the mattress in. So what you want to do is you want to pull the bed down, pull the leg down, and go ahead and bring the mattress over. And you'll notice that the bed will have a lot of pressure pushing it down, which is entirely normal until the mattress is installed. The bed comes with two handles. In this particular bed, we've decided to put them in the center. You can locate the handles on the side, on the top, anywhere you choose. The bed will not come pre-drilled. There are 2 brass pulls, and you simply remove the mattress and drill from the inside. Once the handles are on and you open up the bed, there is an adjustment. The bed does come pre-adjusted from the factory, but in the event you don't get the performance you desire, there are some adjustments you can make. In the back of the mechanism, there is a stud with a nut on it. That size is 17 millimeters. In the event the bed doesn't perform to your satisfaction, or if it is a little bit too heavy or a little bit too light on the foot, you can go ahead and tighten that. When you do tighten that, or turning it clockwise, that will increase the spring tension and make the bed lighter at the foot. The adjustment on the back of the mechanism will adjust the bed to be either lighter at the foot. In this particular case, you can see that once the bedding is on, it should go down, but in the event it does not, you can loosen that adjustment screw. Once the wall bed's completely assembled, allowing just a little bit of float off the ground is normal. You'll see once your bedding on. Once properly adjusted, close the bed, roll the leg over the top,